Welcome back, you guys. I'm Tassie, and today for my ghostly update vlog, I've been getting a lot of questions about religion. And so with this vlog here, I'm just going to touch base on it briefly. You know, I'm not a guru when it comes to religion, but I'll just share like what my insights are on that. And I know like there's like a huge debate in the Hmong community for like those who go to church and then those who don't, and they still follow the old way of shamanism. So, you know, there's a lot of debate about that, especially like in families. You know, you have half that may go to church and the other half may not. So I'll just touch base on it briefly because I've been getting a lot of questions on it, and especially for people who they don't do either, but they're not like announced atheists, you know, so they're just kind of like in limbo. And there are a lot of people who are in limbo and they're not really sure which way to follow. They may have dabbled in either or, but you know, it's I know with like the old ways with shamanism, it's hard if you don't have somebody who can explain things to you, why you have to do this or that, because elders are kind of impatient on the day of the party or the event. You know, they're like rush, 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 and they're just like, just do work, you know. So it's a little hard because they don't actually explain very clearly to you where you could understand it. And I also think some of that has to do with the Hmong language. It's kind of limited where we can't explain fully certain things. So I think that has a lot to do with that as well. So with that being said about the people who are in limbo, you know, they're still trying to do some soul searching though. They want that spiritual connection somewhere, but they just really don't know which way to go. And so, you know, we'll just be talking a little bit about that. Oh my God, I just got done filming and I ate a lot of food. I'm really full. All right, moving on. So, you know, a lot of people always wonder about, you know, like what do you see as a shaman when you go into the spirit world? And I do want to say that one time I scared this girl because we were like, a few of us, we were all like hanging out at a barbecue. And this is when I had just became a shaman. And then we were talking about religion for some reason. And then she said out loud, "I bet you can't guess what religion I am." And then I said Catholic, and it scared her because she wasn't expecting that I would know that she was Catholic. So just so you guys know, you know how there's like, you know, there's Buddhism, Taoism, there's tons of different religions out there, you know, Christianity. Just so you guys know, this is the big answer. There is no wrong religion. There is no wrong religion. And I'll tell you why. If somebody goes to church, right? They go to church and they come to me to seek out for shaman services, because a lot of times people will actually do that. Ricky, you're not behaving. Anyways, boy, we're going to leave Ricky out of this vlog. So a lot of times people will like seek out a shaman for services, even if they go to church, right? And it's not something that they like to announce because they don't want their church finding out. So just to let you guys know, shamanism, we're not against church. We're absolutely not against it. We're not against any form of religion. But there are a lot of religions that are against shamanism. And it's okay because we are taught if they don't know any better, it's okay. Like, you know, you're not supposed to send a curse to them or something like that. It's definitely okay. So, you know, people who come to me and they go to church, what happens when I go into the spirit world to look at them, it's not like they're hidden from me, okay? I can see them, you guys. What happens though? So, everybody has what we would call like your dakwa, and that's kind of like your ancestors, your relatives and stuff like that. So typically if I go and see you, I will first see them, and immediately everybody has like a guardian angel with them, everybody. And you know, it doesn't matter what race you are, everybody has certain guardian angels. So when I first enter, the first thing I'll see is your guardian angels and then your ancestors. And then of course I will see the spirits of whatever religion you follow. Now, I can go there, okay? So it's not forbidden, you guys, but I do want to let you know there are different rules that come into play. So how I see it, it's different dimensions. With shamanism, and I will say this because a lot of people do believe in this, Shamanism, a lot of people don't believe it's a religion. They believe it's tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like religion, and I think the reason why people say that is because with shamanism, we don't have like a book that we hand out to people to pray on. We don't have 10 commandments, you know? And so a lot of it, it's, you only go to a shaman when you need help. That is not like every Sunday you go to church, you know, every Wednesday you might go to Bible study. So we don't have that form of practice when it comes to shamanism. And we do not worship the shaman. There are people who do, but they should not be worshiping the shaman. Shamans should not be going around saying you should be worshiping me. Because we actually rely on spiritual assistance for the shamans to even get into the higher existence of a plane of, you know, so it's just, it's completely different. You know, we don't, it's not, so I have mentioned in other videos for shamanism, we have what we call zongdus, which are gods. It's kind of like, you know, like Greek mythology, how there's Zeus, and then there's Hera, and then they had children, and then they had children, and then Zeus went off and had a bunch of other children with other people. So it's kind of like that. That's exactly how the Hmong shamanism is kind of built and tiered. So that's how come I've always mentioned that there are different shamans who are at different levels, because, you know, you may be Hercules reincarnated. So, you know, it's just like that. Like, so that's what shamanism is, but we don't tell you, you always have to worship and, you know, like you respect and everything like that, the one main god, which is Zeus, right? We don't do that. So we don't say that. We don't have any books on it. It could have been burned a long time ago through all the wars that Hmong people have gone through. And the Hmong people, the original leader, he is said to have been a demigod or like a god, and he could control elements and everything. So even the Chinese worship him. So it's, we don't have these books to teach you these kind of things. It's really just when you need help, you seek out a shaman, and the shaman helps you. It doesn't mean you're going to become a shaman. It doesn't mean that all of these demons are going to cling on to you and take your soul. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So when I go into the spirit world, it is different dimensions. So when you're following something that's shamanism and shaman, there are certain rules in that world. And then if you're going to somebody who is Catholic or Jewish or anything like that, they have a different dimension. They have different rules. They have different things that happen there. The reason why I think a lot of people also are kind of unsure is because they're worried about like the afterlife. So I had a friend who married into a Hmong family, but my friend was actually white. And she became very, very terrified of what would happen in the afterlife, because she said, or she knew that like the Hmong people, our ancestors, etc., we would have, even if you don't do a proper burial, she was always afraid that like Hmong people would come and, like in the afterlife and take her kids because they're half Hmong, and take her husband because he's Hmong, and they would be separated from her because she's not Hmong. Okay, so how this works, all right, how I see it myself, you will go into the afterlife based off of the true religion you believe in. And it's hard to say, because I know some people who jump a lot of religions, and it's not because they're trying to, oh, I guess maybe a little bit, they want to learn more about different religions. They went from, you know, being a Mormon to being Catholic to being a Lutheran. So they jump around a lot because they're doing their own form of soul searching, like which one fits them the best, right? And I remember I had asked the individual, when you pass on, you know, when you're 120 years old and you pass on, how would you like to be buried? You know, like in what custom? And it's basically, and they said that whatever religion they were following currently at that time, that's how they would like to go. And it was very interesting that they said that, because when you pass on, you will go based off of what you honestly believe in your heart. So even if, let's say, you know, you converted to being a Lutheran, but in your heart, you know that you follow shamanism. And then what happens is that moment right as you're passing on, like some people might pray out to Jesus or to God or the mother, like, so it's just like Buddha for all we know, so in that split moment, that is where you're going to go, because that is in that fearful moment where you're leaving and you have to go with your path, your heart will open and you will go with that path. I know for my heart, even though I was born and raised Lutheran, I know a lot of people who go to church. I understand the religion. I understand the reason why they go. My heart will always go towards shamanism. So I will enter into that world. And it's kind of a cheat because my spirit guides already kind of told me. Because it's like, even if they don't do a proper Hmong burial for me, because 50, 60 years from now, we're not going to have our elders who do the old ways of burials. And I'm not really close to my relatives either. So I'm not going to have that kind of funeral. I want to just be burnt or just buried and done with. Because my spirit guides will come and get me. And so it's just like, I don't have a fear of death because I know where I'm going afterwards. But it's hard for, somebody who doesn't have that. So that's why we're having this video. So that's basically it. Now, I don't talk a whole lot about religion only because it's a very, very sensitive topic for a lot of people, obviously. And with my videos here, it is not geared to like convert people into shamanism. It is a hard road if you're going to want to become a shaman. It's a very, very hard, very, very lonely road. I know in the past, everybody was always telling me that I should help people, I should do this and that. And I'm just like, you don't really understand. Like, you don't understand fully what goes into it. And like, some people may try and see a shaman as like a pastor or a priest. I don't see it that way. I just see that just because I have a direct link, that's it. But I make mistakes. I am completely human, just like you, so it's just like, I'm not like Buddha reincarnated. So it's just, like, I don't see shamans as holy people. And I will admit, when I was younger, what really turned me off about shamanism was that they weren't holy people. And I thought, because I didn't know anything about it, and then like a bunch of kids who were at the event were telling me and explaining to me and my siblings what shamanism is and who the shaman is. And they made him seem like a superhero, because they were like, oh yeah, they can kill demons and ghosts and they can save your soul from dying and blah, blah, blah. So I thought that shamans were like this superhero, because like when I go to church, our pastor was very clean, like very clean cut, very well-mannered, very respectful. But so I thought it would be the same thing when I saw a shaman, and it totally wasn't anything like what I thought. It was just an old grandfather who looked sickly, and I was like, why are they making him jump around? He probably needs more food. It was terrible. And like they gamble, they smoke, they drink, so it was not this holy figure that I thought of. And so it's just I just want to let it be known, shamans are completely human. They're and like there are what you would say crooked shamans, but there's crooked people anywhere. It doesn't matter what religion it is. There's bad in anywhere you go. It is on the individual, it is on the being. So it's not a reflection on the belief at all. And definitely one important thing I want to mention before I end this vlog, Saka. Alright, so a lot of people may ask about the Saka. Funny, terrifying story about the Saka. So the Saka, whenever you are a shaman, it is highly recommended you have a Saka in your house. And it is different from the actual shrine. I think I'll have to go into a different story with this. It's not super long, but it's too long for this video. Alright, so we'll talk about that in another video about the Saka. And the funny story that goes with that. So with this one here, I'm just going to end the video letting you guys know it doesn't matter which religion you want to follow. And you are welcome to try out different religions to find out the one that's going to suit you the best. Tons of people have traveled the world, or they read up on a lot of books about it. And I think having that spiritual awakening to see what resonates the best with you is the one you should go with. And when you pass on, that split second, even if you honestly believe this is what you believe in, whatever you call out to for help. Like in my dreams, when I have nightmares, like I don't speak Hmong in my dreams, you guys. But when I do, I know stuff's about to happen. So when I am terrified though, like I will call out to my Hmong. Even if I am no longer practicing shaman, I will just call out to them and they'll just come. So it's just like, I know that's where I'll go. All right, you guys, I hope that answered some of your questions. All right, you guys, thanks for watching.